Hello everyone.
Hey everyone.
Okay, let's get started. Welcome to the multi-channel outreach webinar, how to get more replies with all your multi-channel efforts. My name is Olivia Milton. I'm CMO at Replies.
And I guess as always, my name is Vlad, and I'm like a growth person here at Reply with SDR's background. So yeah, super happy today to share all my learnings and best practices we have implemented here at Reply when it comes to multi-channel sequences, multi-channel outbound and prospecting. So yeah, happy to share everything we know about this topic so far.
Let's get it started. So everyone, please vote and respond to the poll. And
Okay.
we'll be super happy to share the results in a minute. And while you are responding, I want to announce something really cool that happened yesterday. Yesterday, we launched multi-channel cold outreach course together with 5 other experts from High Price, Belkins, Growth Band, Captain Data, and SenseSpark. The course features 17 modules, and the data in this course is based on our analysis of 200 million emails and thousands of multi-channel sequences. The course is completely free, so please check it out. It's reply.io/multichannel outreach course and get enrolled. So again, while you are responding to the first poll, I'm gonna quickly share what we're gonna cover today. The first and foremost, we're gonna talk about how to choose the right channels for the best results, and we'll share the stats. Secondly, we will talk about pros and cons of each channels. We will share best practices for each channel and insanely useful bonus content. Of course, the webinar is recorded and we'll be sharing the recording, templates, resources, links, and slides with you after the event, so no need to do the screenshots. Now let me end the poll and let's see the results.
Hey, wow. Interesting. So we have a lot of pros here today, I think. So yeah, awesome. So yeah, I hope you will learn a little bit more about multi-channel sequences. And for those 30% of you who haven't given it a try, let's see what we have to share with you today. So yeah, cool, awesome. All right. So yeah, as always, feel free to ask your questions in the chat or Q&A session. Yeah, we will answer your questions during the webinar. So,
And yeah, now let's talk a bit more why multi-channel cold outreach matters. And here I need to mention 4 things that you need to know and need to consider when selecting either going multi-channel or single channel. When you are doing multi-channel cold outreach, you get more engagement and responses because your messages on multiple platforms are more likely to be seen. You reach people through the channels they prefer, not you prefer. And you can use different channels for different purposes. That being said, you can use emails to introduce yourself and LinkedIn to follow up with your prospects. Or let's say you can reach out via emails with your personalized offers and use LinkedIn to keep in touch, to engage, comments on the posts of your prospects. Secondly, multi-channel is less pushy and more balanced approach compared with the single channel outreach, because you can alternate between emails and other channels to avoid seeming too aggressive. And also, multi-channel reinforces brand visibility, making it more likely that prospects will remember and engage with the brand over time. Because when you get the email and then you connect with this person on LinkedIn and receive some really catchy messaging that resonates with the brand that they are representing, they will definitely get into your mind. Thirdly, with multi-channel, you build better relationships for different interactions. For instance, you engage with comments and shares before messaging on through email. And the fourth point here, you can analyze responses from different channels and adjust your sequences. That being said, if you see that LinkedIn channel performs better than any other channel in a sequence, you can tweak the sequence to make more of those LinkedIn messages, or basically even dive more into them. Now, we collected the benchmarks for every available channel on the market. And a little bit spoiler here, because later during this event, Vlad will share pros and cons and all other very important details when you will be considering to add these channels to your sequence. But on this slide, we see main channels with their average open rate, reply rate, and the sources of this information. So it's for you to consider. I marked with the blue stars those channels that we can call like main channels. For instance, cold email. It's not only main channel, it can be main channel, but it's also a scalable channel. And basically those open and reply rates are your math to understand what the output of the sequence will be. And as you can see, the second point, called email and video, allows to get 2 or even 3x higher reply rate based on the stats that we see with reply users. LinkedIn email, it's just crazy reply rate compared with cold email, but it's unlikely to be scaled that much as cold email, and so on and so forth. So again, we'll dive deeper in those channels during the whole webinar today. It's just for you to understand how those numbers match with the results you want to get. And now, Vlad, mic to you.
All right, so yeah, as you can see, we did our best to like collect all this knowledge about average results in terms of open rates and replies for different channels, so you can choose what works better for you. Now let's talk about like a multi-channel outreach when it comes to outbound sales. But again, it can be used for any use cases, and we will talk about those use cases, pros and cons for every single like process and use case, including things like inbound sales, outbound sales, recruiting, raising money, VC outreach, business development, and so on. So our story at Replied actually with multi-channel sequences happened when we decided that we need to add more channels. And then to prove as a concept, we at Replied started using multi-channel sequences ourselves for inbound leads mainly. And we actually built like this huge sequence at 20 steps within 30 days almost, and then we just measured results, and that was the result actually. So we were able to book some like way more meetings, not way more, but definitely more meetings in terms of relying on different channels, including like phone calls, SMS, WhatsApp, manual emails and videos, and also LinkedIn. So that's just like a distribution of channels we used for these inbound sequences. And that way, yeah, that was, I guess, a quite successful experiment for us. And then we started using multi-channel sequences in more use cases. And then let's talk about channels we can use for those sequences. Of course, number one, it's email. It's definitely email. Why? Because even as for now, it's still the most scalable channel that salespeople, business development teams, growth teams, go-to-market teams can rely on. And when it comes to different types of these emails, I would say that there are 3 main types of emails, like automatic emails. You just build a sequence, cadence, campaign, whatever you call it, and just automate everything from step 1 to follow-ups. Then you can include manual emails for better personalization, and of course, manual emails with video. So all those sequence, like email steps, you can implement in Reply and play around with them. How you can do this? And actually, when it comes to cold emails and emails outreach, again, it's all about numbers and it's all about scaling. So here's a chart and here's some data we collected from our from our cold outreach activities. And here are like a benchmarks, average results when it comes to cold outreach in terms of cold emails and reply rates in terms of sequence or cadence step. So why it's important? Why? Because typically they say, hey, send more additional follow-ups to get replies. Like maybe send 10, 15 cold emails, including follow-ups to maximize your reply rates. But in reality, when it comes to new deliverability policies, to new spam policies, more doesn't mean better, actually. It is better, but you will maximize your reply rates, but you won't maximize your meetings, actually. So here's how it works. Imagine 3 scenarios. You have email-only sequences. So, and you decide whether you send 10 emails, 5, or 3 emails. And when we actually know that reply rate goes down with every additional cold email follow-up in your sequence. So when you send, let's say, 10-step sequence to 100 contacts, you will get 6.7% combined reply rate, and you will get 67 positive, like total responses. But if you send 5 steps sequence, if you send 5-step sequence, in this time frame, you will send the same amount of emails, right? But you can reach out to 2x more contacts. But combined reply rate will be lower, but given like you have the biggest reply rates in those 5 steps, first 5 steps, your total response, you will get like 88 total responses. But when it comes to 3-step sequence, you can contact actually 3.3x more contacts. And even though your combined reply rate is lower, your total number of responses will be much higher when it comes to 10-step sequence. So actually my recommendation here when it comes to multi-channel sequences, maybe even to scaling your email-only sequences, my recommendation here, focus on shorter 3 to 5 steps email sequences, like 1 email plus 3 or 4 follow-ups. Of course, with some useful content, maybe some tweaks to your value proposition, some new personalization, but my recommendation here, less is kind of better. Yeah, let's proceed. And now I won't be stopping here for a long time, but again, we have prepared a list of best practices for you when it comes to subject lines, cold email, copywriting, CTAs, all just short, useful pieces of content for you so you can maximize your average results. And as in that way, get more positive responses. So yeah. And again, when it comes to cold email, typically personalized cold email, sometimes they're talking about like personalized videos within those emails. So here's how you can actually, but the issue here is it's hard to streamline this process. With reply, it's getting easier. Why? Because you can actually, within your reply sequence, you can create a manual email. It's actually a task with it's pretty much the same template. You can use variables, but you can use some kind of placeholders, for example, comments, and say, hey, add video here. And then you can go to our extension, filter your tasks by manual email. And then what you have to do, you have all variables filled with data like first name, company name, industry, and so on. And then what you need to do here, you just have to record a quick video and then click complete, and the next task pops up. That's how you can automate this process and maybe record, I would say, up to 10, maybe 15 personalized videos per hour. So yeah, and then you can, that's how you can streamline the process. Back to you, Olivia. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's talk now about cloud calls. And when we talk about cloud calls, I suggest you to consider this term in a broader spectrum: cloud calls, voicemails, and manual automatic SMS. First and foremost, let's talk about the key industries that are applicable, I can say so, for phone calls. And as you can see, not all industries actually match this channel, but specifically industries that do match the channel are, first is the fintech. And the explanation here is kind of obvious because financial products are very complex ones, and like you definitely need a personal touch to explain things and products like payments, APIs, or online lending solutions and stuff like that. Secondly, software as a service. Well, sometimes, especially if a software is complex and expensive. Well, because you need to connect with potential clients in different locations, and cold calls help secure subscription-based sales, especially if they with high check. Thirdly, business consulting. Again, probably an obvious industry because business consulting is very customizable. It offers very customizable solutions, and the customization needs to be based on understanding the problem. The phone call is basically the best medium to talk and understand the business problem. And again, the check here is very high. The fourth point, the fourth industry, general contracting and blue-collar industries, because professionals in these fields are more reachable by phone than email. And finally, telemarketing and real estate. When we talk about automating phone calls, and yes, phone calls can be and should be automated. For instance, how it can be done at Reply. You see, we have a call as a step in a sequence, and you can put all the details, all the scripts and questions, everything that your rep should have in front of them when the phone call is happening. So once you have the step, Reply will convert this step into a task for every contact in the sequence. Then a sales rep needs to find the Chrome extension, basically see the profile on LinkedIn, and just complete the tasks one by one for every contact in the sequence. And once done, these are the stats. So with Reply, you can have, and basically with the phone calls as a channel, you will have additional up to 6%, based on our statistics, up to 6% positive call resolution. And speaking about the SMS, again, Vlad will talk today about the use cases for using these additional channels like SMS. In our case, we leveraged SMS to get back basically to our inbound leads, like trial leads, and notify them that, hey, we just send you an email, check it out. Or we have a demo call scheduled in an hour. And with this approach, we got almost 8% of replies on SMS channel. Vlad, my back to you.
Awesome. So, and when it comes to SMS, we use this one as an additional step in our sequence, day one. So, and we actually use this to refer to our initial email or phone call. And that's how we increased both open rates for them and reply rates. Sometimes they avoid like responding back to SMS, and then they just get back to their email, and that's it. But that's how we booked like dozens of additional meetings for that sequence. When it comes to LinkedIn, it's, I would say, channel number 2, number 3. It depends on industry, vertical, use case, but LinkedIn is definitely the biggest professional network out there, and it's a good idea to rely on it to get more opportunities, meetings, like partners, in terms of new co-founders, I don't know, maybe partnership opportunities, podcast opportunities, integration partnership opportunities. So we actually use LinkedIn for different use cases across all departments. And it's not just about outbound sales. For example, we've figured out that it definitely works better for, let's say, influence marketing and so on. So dozens of use cases when it comes to LinkedIn. And when it comes to types of steps, touch points you can use out there. Oh, it's back.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can use like view profile, connection request, email messages, follow profile, message, like post, comment, and some kind of voice notes within your messages. And when it comes to To the next slide here, please. And when it comes to LinkedIn, you can use both manual and automatic LinkedIn steps within your reply sequences. And again, it works just a task for you. So that's how you can work alongside your LinkedIn with this Chrome extension. So yeah, feel free to visit reply.io/findy, install the extension, and it will work for everything, for your calls, manual text, and of course, LinkedIn touches. And when it comes to analytics, again, you can also analyze your LinkedIn touch points at Reply as well. For example, here's a screenshot of our own LinkedIn touches here at Reply. You can see number of total contacts, number of connection requests we sent. Here we have 25% connection acceptance rate, number of messages, reply rate, so you can actually track those automatic steps. And that's how you can see, I can adjust maybe some sequences, A/B testings, and so on, and like create better sequence. But the issue here is that LinkedIn limits, of course. So it's hard to like scale it, and it's the issue of this actually channel, because you have just one account. And when it comes to limits, there are two limits for free LinkedIn accounts and for paid premium or Sales Navigator accounts. So when it comes to limits, for example, you can just, let's say, when it's a completely new account, or rather, or if you're not active on LinkedIn. So basically, to have higher limits, you have to be active on LinkedIn or actually on a daily basis. So when it comes to a regular, like an ordinary LinkedIn account, free account, you can have just 50 LinkedIn profile views per day. You can send just 100 connection requests per week. It's about 15 to 20 connections per day. And you have, of course, limit when it comes to DMs as well. When you have paid Sales Navigator account, you can send emails and you can view more profiles using your Sales Navigator account. So when it comes to reply, you can set up those limits properly, and that's how you can limit your sequences in terms of security, including like LinkedIn limits. So again, you see those limits are very strict, which means you can scale your sequences with this approach. So we have to be strategic when it comes to LinkedIn, right? So probably we should use it for better leads, for tier 1 accounts or tier 1 prospects, for those high converting channels, maybe inbound, bridge bound, your website hand risers, maybe some old opportunities, close loss deals, stuff like that. So again, it's not just about outbound, but of course about inbound sequences for account executives, sales reps, salespeople, business development, and so on.
Vlad, we have one question here.
Yep.
Mark is asking, how are you finding LinkedIn profiles at scale?
How are you? Just a second.
How are you finding LinkedIn profiles at scale?
Could you please specify the question? You mean emails or just filters? Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, sorry about that.
Mark, yeah, please just type your question and we'll get back to it. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Let's proceed.
Okay.
And yes, so my suggestion here when it comes to LinkedIn and brand new LinkedIn especially, focus on maximizing your connection request acceptance rate. Why? Again, four scenarios here. Scenario number 1, you have 10% acceptance rate. Scenario number 3, you have 35% acceptance rate. And scenario 4, you have 50% acceptance rates. And when it comes to a whole year, there is a huge gap in terms of total responses you can get. I just used an average benchmark, 10% reply rate after they accept your connection request. So you can play around with those numbers and see the difference. And the biggest difference, of course, is number of accepted connection requests per week. So the higher the rate, the better. So yeah, focus on this one. And when it comes to best practices, how to maximize these metric, check out our course. We have 2 actually modules dedicated to LinkedIn, so more useful pieces of content there.
It is
Yeah.
reply.io/multichannel called outreach course. And yeah, we have Mark just specified his question. I have a list of 1,000 contacts, email, phone and email. How do I find the LinkedIn profiles for each of them? Or is this manual?
I see. Well, you can do this in Reply, but there are a bunch of email finders that allow you to upload a list of like first names, LinkedIn profiles, and then you can just upload an email and they will like return LinkedIn profiler back to you. For example, I think there is a tool called reversecontact.com or something. So give it a try. So yeah, there are a bunch of tools there. If you want, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn again, and I will share more tools that can do that for you.
Thanks, Vlad.
Yeah. And again, when it comes to best practices, we put together a list of some useful tips on how to improve your results when it comes to connection requests, messages, and how to treat LinkedIn as a channel in general. My favorite one, I guess, Sales Navigator plus higher social selling index allows you to get more actions like connection request, messages, and view profiles. So social selling index means you have to be active on the platform and start creating content, just posting things, commenting, liking, engaging with others. That's how you can, let's move.
Vlad, another question from Kunal this time. While sending LinkedIn requests, should we add any notes or sending requests without notes give better connection rate?
That's a great question. So I actually decided to leave this one for the course, but when it comes, we had a webinar 3 weeks ago with data-backed insights on those things. What they figure out that empty connection request is better than a generic one. Let's say, hey, super happy to connect with you or stuff like that. But what they found that highly personalized connection requests are better than empty ones. So I would say either hyper-personalized or empty connection request will help you get more accepted connection requests, basically. Yeah. So don't use generic things like, I don't know, hey, noticed you on LinkedIn, let's catch up, let's connect. So it actually doesn't work that way anymore.
Great. Let's proceed with the second poll. Vlad, will you be able to launch the second poll?
Sure.
I'm not sure I'm good with Zoom interface. What is your favorite outreach channel? Cold outreach channel. So please vote in the poll and also answer why in the comments. We definitely want to learn what makes your channel favorite enough. So let's just pause a little bit here since it's very
let us know why you love these channels.
Okay.
Personally, I love email.
Oh, because it's scalable, right?
It's scalable. I can play around with personalization, maybe some kind of experiments. So yeah, that's why I love emails.
What is your second favorite channel then?
Second favorite. It's LinkedIn, I think. Yeah, because of social selling, I guess, and creating content.
Got it. Okay.
Phone calls, maybe I would love them, but I'm a little bit shy of cold calls. Why? Not just because I'm afraid of cold calling, just because of my English, basically, and that's it. Yeah, but otherwise I would do this, no problem.
Okay, so let me end the poll and show you the results. So, Vlad, I think our audience today is sharing your favorite channels. So
No, it's LinkedIn.
Well,
55%.
Okay, yeah. LinkedIn and email just is the second most favorite channel. Okay, amazing. So let's proceed with and let's
sorry,
see.
we forgot to enable chat. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Okay, I enable it. Yeah, I apologize about that. Attendees can chat with everyone. Okay, boom, done. Sorry about that today. Oops.
Yep, sorry guys, we are just the only two hosts today with Vlad. We don't have our regular admin on the background, so please
Yeah,
forgive
sorry
us.
about that.
But anyway, please answer why, what makes your favorite cold outreach channels, like explain what is behind that.
Yeah.
Just in the comments, and we will get back in a minute. Okay, and we have another question. Probably let's answer that before we proceed with the slides. What if emails start falling into spam by scaling? Any tips or tools?
Well, this important topic, we will definitely have to have another webinar for this, but to make it short, now it will happen with everyone, with even super pros, with experts, even with deliverability experts. Why? Because spam policies are tougher nowadays. So how to scale with falling emails into spam? Well, two tips here: scale your cold outreach infrastructure, meaning buy more similar domains to your company. Let's say when it comes to reply, it could be something like getreply.io, replyteam.io, reply.ai, for example, getreply.ai. So generate additional domains, wait a month or two, may allows them to be a little bit more warmed up, and then add maybe 5 to 10 inboxes per one domain. So just buy domain, then buy additional inboxes, wait 14 days, and then start your outreach. And then just send maybe from 50 to 70 emails per inbox per day maximum. So that's where you can scale your outreach. It's just a tip of an iceberg, but it requires way more things. We'll definitely need another webinar for this.
Yeah, obviously, basically deliverability is a huge topic, and we're also explaining email deliverability in the course. So
Yep,
once again,
exactly.
check it out. And while people respond in the chats on their favorite channel, we have another question, Vlad. I'm Sam. My leads hardly reply my emails despite changing templates in your recommendation. How do I charge leads to respond to book meeting?
How do I charge leads to respond to book meetings? Well, one issue when it comes to reply rates, basically two issues. Again, it's infrastructure. Imagine you have good open rates, as meaning 40, 50, 60, 70% open rate. So you have it, but your reply rate is maybe 1 or less, like 1%, for example, when it comes to reply rates, right? So probably the issue is your audience, target audience. If not, then you have to think about the copy and find something that will maybe it's your value proposition, maybe it's timing, maybe it's relevancy, maybe it's so you have to have in your cold email something that will trigger reply. Basically, either it's value proposition, either you have cool product or services, or maybe you have to create really cool copy in terms of personalization. For example, hey, I visited your website. I noticed you have X amount of website traffic. Knowing your average conversion rates, probably you get, let's say, 100 leads. If we improve this conversion rate, you will get additional, I don't know, 10 opportunities, or I don't know. So something like this. And then, so you have to think about highly scalable template, but really personalized one. So that's like something that could help you actually.
I can give an example. So Sam, just an example from my experience, a agency, basically content agency. We were in touch with them, and they were trying to keep me warm lead. And I do remember this moment when I received an email from them with the recent Google updates. So they basically reached out to me saying, "Hey, Olivia, like in case you missed it, like yesterday Google released its latest updates, and this is what is going to happen, and this is how it's going to affect your SEO and content strategy. And like, we're here in case you need us for, content SEO or just ideas brainstorm and stuff like that." And that was so helpful. That was so, the intent was the right one. I mean, Vlad has excellent webinars and content about so basically cold emailing and the importance of the right intent in the email. And that's just an example that it really worked for me. I get back to them saying, well, thank you so much. I just really missed it. And let's talk. Let's see how we can craft the strategy.
Yeah. And again, so we have to move on to the next slide, I guess.
Sure.
But again, so we have, I guess, 2 modules dedicated to cold emails in our multi-channel course. Sorry about spamming you with the course, but yeah, we added tons of examples there, tons of templates, tons of copywriting tips, like snippets, everything you need for cool templates, basically. Yeah.
Check it out. Okay, and let's proceed with the messengers. And specifically, what I want to talk about is the WhatsApp. Well, why WhatsApp? Because that's the most popular, basically, messenger all over the world. Here on the left side, you see the chart for the business users. On the right side, you see the average WhatsApp users. So in case your business operates in some of these countries, WhatsApp is your next to try channel. And some of the best practices here. So again, based on our experience at Reply, first, to start using messengers and WhatsApp specifically, you need to start collecting direct phone numbers on your forms and ensure that you have consent to contact those prospects. Again, just a little checkbox will sort it out. Consider messengers to use for inbound leads, like trials or your demo requests. It can be your content downloads, blog subscription, you name it. But specifically, it works great for inbound leads. Keep it short, like 2-3 sentences. Get to the point quickly because you have only 2-3 sentences. Send within prospect business hours. Well, we definitely want to catch them during their active periods of time. One clear CTA in form of a question, a reference to previous touch points to establish context. That is critical. Again, as with SMS example, messengers work great when you need to notify your prospect, your lead, about something that already happens. Like, let's say you already sent an email or invite to a call, and you need to follow up through other channels saying, you know what, like I just send you a link, or I'm waiting you for on our call in an hour, something like this. Messengers and basically SMS, living in the phone of your prospect, have amazing open and response rate. And of course, use humor in follow-ups. Be yourself. That's the most important. Vlad, Mike, back to you. Other channels.
Okay, cool. And yeah, so when it comes to WhatsApp, just to add here, you will be amazed that there are some countries that fully rely on WhatsApp as their channel, as the only channel for their businesses, like e-commerce, consulting. There are countries that have even CRMs for WhatsApp, marketing automation for WhatsApp, and things like that. So, and even support chats based on WhatsApp Messenger and so on. So for some countries, for some regions, it's a no-brainer. Here at Reply, we used WhatsApp within our inbound sequence, and it actually worked pretty awesome for us. When it comes to other channels, there are more things you can consider for your outbound, inbound business development sequences. Like for some, again, similar to LinkedIn, you can use X or Twitter the same type of steps here, like follow, connect, DMs. When it comes to Twitter, it's a more, like, I don't know even how to say it, it's a more free speech like social media platform. So there are no strict limitations. So you can send more DMs, you can send more follow requests, and so on. You can chat more. So yeah, no issues when it comes to outreach. So you can actually scale it. You can use Zapier steps, definitely a topic for another webinar. You can use ABS and ABM. So I will share another tool in the next chat for this. You can, of course, use direct mail outreach like spec, letter, e-gift cards, Amazon cards. So there are some use cases where it works pretty awesome for enterprise sales, enterprise SDR teams. So for example, you can send wine, I don't know, postcards and so on. But again, it definitely works for both for enterprise outbound sales and for marketing when you want to like amaze your existing customers, partners, and so on. And of course, to-dos, you can add a to-do task to meet a person in person, visit their office, whatever you prefer. When it comes to some ideas here, the next slide, please, yeah. You can actually automate your social media and some other channels. So visit sales.reply.io and then scroll down. You will see 4 more dedicated categories for those things, like Twitter outreach, maybe even Reddit outreach, social selling, and direct mail outreach. So again, you can add those tools to your cadences, sequences, campaigns, and play around with those channels. I wanted to give a try to Twitter, but I unfortunately didn't haven't had the chance to play around with it yet. But for us, we have some audiences that are super active on LinkedIn, like founders, startup founders, VCs.
Twitter,
Yeah,
right?
on Twitter, yes. Yeah, apologize. Yes, Twitter. So those audiences are quite active on X, so you can use it, of course. And another tool we have here for account-based selling, account-based marketing. The next slide, please. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a super cadence. It's a tool that allows you to handshake your emails and ads. So again, it will work like this. When you send a cold email to your prospect, they will see an advertisement on social media, for example, and that's how they remember your brand. And when you send a cold email, it increases a chance to get replies. So with this tool, it's called supercadence.ai. So check it out. And of course, inbound chat.
Inbound chat. We see your question, guys, in our chat and Q&A section. We will get back to them in a Q&A session because the questions are so various regarding deliverability and mixing channels. So just to let you know that we won't miss any question here. And speaking about inbound chats, so basically this is a concept of inbound led outbound. Your marketing teams usually are doing a good job scaling traffic to your website. The website itself captures the traffic through buttons with the call to action converting to the next step, or website forms or chats. But today I want to talk a little bit more about the AI chats that we built in Reply. Well, why is it so worth mentioning? Because AI chats works together with reply sequences. Well, first, in AI chat, you can specify the goal. For instance, you want your AI chat to book as many demos as you like, as many demos as you need from your inbound traffic, or suggest starting a free trial through the website chat conversation, or get contact information from your inbound leads. And then website chat, basically it's sales trains with video avatars. It starts pushing the prospect, the visitor, through the funnel, suggesting to try basically and to convert either to a demo or to a product, to a trial, or leave contact information. So it can either increase conversion through like the conversation in the chat itself, or for those prospects who just left the email in the chat, AI chat can be integrated with Reply, and that integration is already available. It means that the website visitors who left the contact information in the chat can be pushed to a sequence in Reply. And that's an example. Basically, that's a real life example of how AI chat and the sequence work together. And again, you are pushing those inbound leads to sequences, increasing number of generated leads and efficiency of your lead generation efforts. Now, another question to everyone here. Knowing all the channels, what else, another channel, would you add to your campaigns? So we know that some of you guys rely on email-only channel or single channel outreach. Some of you combine calls, LinkedIn, and email. But for those channels that we covered today, like those additional supporting channels, what raises your curiosity, what you want to try in your next campaigns? Put it in the chat. Vlad, what about you? What is your next go for channel?
Yeah, as I said, I would love to give it a try to X or Twitter. Yeah, to call DMs there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And now let's talk about the benchmarks again. We'll get back to your answers, guys, in the chat just a little bit later. Let's talk about benchmarks, and Vlad, I am giving mic back to you.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be brief here. So here's what we did here. We analyzed all channels we discussed before, and we built this pros, cons, scalability, and use case like table for you for every channel we discussed, with average reply rates, with pros, cons, and again scalability. So that's how you can maybe calculate your sequence capacity, decide whether or not to use, for example, I don't know, LinkedIn touches for your outbound campaigns. Maybe you can prioritize your LinkedIn touches for the best sequences, again, because of scalability issue or concern, right? So yeah, feel free to play around with it, and then mix all those different channels again. And the next slide is about channels as well. The next one, please. So we added additional ones like cold calling, SMS, WhatsApp, direct mail. So you can calculate your capacity for scaling outbound. And again, when it comes to sequence benchmarks, here's when it comes to cold emails, here's a chart showing you sequence step, email sequence step, its average open rate and reply rate across all reply users. And as you can see here, step four, like 1, 2, 3, the best ones. And then you can consider, let's say, step number 4 and 5 as additional follow-ups for your sequence. So when we combine all those different channels, so again, definitely stick to maybe 3, 5 emails, then combine maybe cold calls, LinkedIn, start with connection request when they because actually you can't send message on LinkedIn if you are not connected to a person. So you have to be connected with your prospect. So start your sequence with connection request. Then of course you can add message, because when you are connected with each other, you can send this template, right? If you rely on Sales Navigator, you can add in emails, but it's super not scalable channel. You have like 50 emails per month. So yeah, maybe you want to use it for inbound leads or for high priority, I don't know, business development things. Sequences. And yeah, let's talk about best practices. Oh, probably we have some of them here. Oh yeah, Olivia, back to you.
Yeah, speaking about sequence best practices, these are the things that you need to consider. For tier 2, tier 3 accounts, try email-focused sequence. For warm tier 2, tier 3 accounts, try multi-channel sequences.
Yeah, I will add here, it means,
sure.
So at Reply, you can filter, let's say you started email-only sequence to your tier 2-3 accounts. And then you will see that you will have a bunch of prospects that open your emails, let's say 10 times, but never reply back to you. So you can filter those contacts and add them to multi-channel personalized sequence. So there's a chance that they will reply back maybe on LinkedIn or cold call.
Exactly. And basically that is what works at Reply. Again, tier 1 accounts, multi-channel sequence. The same works multi-channel sequence for inbound leads. Vlad already mentioned 3 to 5 emails in a sequence maximum. Step 1 to 3 will generate the majority of replies. Use lots of variables like industry, title, location, and consider the intent. Basically, in any medium, in any channel that you use in a sequence. Use spin text to boost deliverability. For those of you who don't know what is spin text, that's basically a feature that allows to customize the salutation and the first part of the email, making it sound a little bit different for algorithms and increasing the perception that it's not an automated email. That's it's like you send it manually. Create content to boost your LinkedIn presence. No one wants to talk to some no name on LinkedIn. Add LinkedIn touches. You know, we mentioned them today: connect, message, email, and so on. Try LinkedIn touches like, follow, and comment. WhatsApp, great channel, already mentioned. Try SMS for inbound leads. Try personalized videos. Repurpose personalized videos across all channels if there is no response. Avoid aggressive sequences for outbound leads. And for 10 to 15, make 10 to 15 touches within 30-45 days. From the other perspective, let's think about single channel versus multi-channel approach. By sales process, if you rely on inbound leads, try multi-channel cold outreach, email, manual email that Vlad mentioned today, LinkedIn, and phone calls. If you rely on outbound leads, try email-heavy outreach with some light LinkedIn touches, maybe phone call steps. By deal size, think of it just to make your unit economics work. Since LinkedIn and phone calls are more expensive channels, for 1 to 5K deals, try email-only outreach. 5 to 10K deals, email-heavy plus light LinkedIn. 10 to 20K deals, email, LinkedIn, phone calls. 20K plus deals, personalized emails, LinkedIn, and phone calls. And by ICP, also mentioned that already. Tier 1 leads, it's your top priority, try multi-channel. Tier 2 leads, mainly email, maybe some LinkedIn. Tier 3 leads, high volume email only. And some bonus content from us. Vlad, do you want to cover that?
Actually, yes, we put together all best practices for all those channels we discussed today. Just super simple.
Just a handy checklist for everyone. We'll be sending this best practices after this webinar. And finally, Q&A. We have a list of questions, and I'll start with Q&A parts, then I'll look in the chat. So, okay, give me a second. What is the best way of multi-channel campaigns mixing LinkedIn and email?
Yeah.
I mean, is it better to mix LinkedIn and email campaigns, or better to create a separate sequences?
So we discussed both ways. You can start your email-only campaign and then just send maybe 5 emails. And then you have a list of highly engaged contacts who open your emails maybe 5-10 times, but never replied back to you, and they never opted out from your emails. So filter those contacts in reply and then add to a new multi-channel personalized sequence. So I call it warm outbound, actually, right? There is a reason why they opened your emails, but never replied back, right? Maybe they shared the email with someone internally, or it's a wrong timing, etc. Again, when you want to mix, we discuss different use cases. For example, you can start like an email heavy sequence and add LinkedIn touches in the back end of your sequence. Why? Because LinkedIn connection request is like this. I don't know how to say it in English, unfortunately. It's like a shit. So for example, you want to send 100 emails per day, but unfortunately you can send just 10 connection requests per day. So when you have LinkedIn touches in a front end of your sequence, your email follow-ups will stuck in the sequence, right?
Yeah, it's like a bottleneck, right?
Yeah, it's a bottleneck, exactly. So yeah, maybe in that case you need LinkedIn touches on a back end of your sequence. The same with cold calls. So you, for example, you can make maybe just 50 to 100 calls per day, but you can send 500 emails per day. So you send 3 emails, you will get majority of positive responses there, and then add additional channels like email, call. It's up to you. Just play around with it.
Also regarding video concept, won't it create a spam issue if we start send video type of content?
Yeah, it could be an issue. If those emails with personalized videos don't have enough responses, yeah, it could be an issue. But typically, when you send personalized videos, typically those emails have higher reply rates, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay. Yeah, and I see some thoughts and questions in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for maintaining this high activity during the webinar. For those questions that we didn't answer during this webinar, we will answer after the webinar, like in person. We'll send you emails with the responses. No worries here. Okay, so let's move forward since we have a few more things to announce to you guys. First, we have a next webinar, 10 proven multi-channel sequences to book more meetings. Check it out on luma/reply.io. Link is below the slide. Then we have a special deal. Sign up for Reply and get 50% off for email volume or multi-channel plans for the first months with this coupon. And this coupon will be in a follow-up email for after the webinar, so you won't miss it out. And let's stay in touch. Connect with Vlad, connect with me, and check out Multi-Channel Outreach course. That's a true masterpiece for those who want to master multi-channel outreach.
As always,
thank you.
Thank you. And see you next week on the next webinar.
See you next week, next webinar. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.